this week, and I did want to ask you particular. J Pods has struggled on a couple of kicks inside 40 yards. I just wonder if that competition is any more intense than usual, and are you guys doing anything to address or look at that closely?
Yeah, he's battling through it. He's pushing through. I thought he kicked the ball well today. We actually just walked off the field and did field goal periods, and I thought he kicked the ball well. But yeah, we're always in competition, as you well know, Chip. And it's one of those things that we got to help him out and push him through it. He's been really consistent in his career as a starter here. Still believe in him, and we're going to work through it. And I think he's still got a great leg. He's hit a clutch field goals multiple times, but we're pushing through it. And, Zirkel's out there kicking, and so is Camarda. So those guys are kicking as well.
Hey, Coach, good to see you. Two-parter here for you, if you don't mind. First, when you go back and you watch the film, film of the defense, as well as it's played, what specific improvements are you still needing to see take place? And second, I wonder if you could give an update on William Poole. I've not noticed him the first couple of games.
Yeah, he's ineligible for the first 4 games due to academics, but he did a tremendous job to get himself in that position, to get back. So he was not going to be able to play this year. He was able to get a waiver, and he now is eligible after the Vanderbilt game, I think. He'll be back with us. So we're looking forward to getting his depth back to help us out. Improvement wise, we probably did not play as well in the second game, as we did in the first. We really did not strike blockers and play run fits to the standard that we expect. We did get some turnovers, which we didn't get in the first, but the biggest thing was playing our gaps, striking blockers, and communication. There's still breakdowns that we have that we're trying to get right defensively. We're fast enough and we're big enough that we haven't been exposed on some of those, and we got to do a better job of definitely playing the run.
Okay, let's go to Dean Legge and then Mark Weiser.
Kirby, at what point when the opposition is about to snap the ball, is it too late to adjust your defense? 5 seconds to go. I mean, do you understand what I'm asking you there?
No.
Okay, so there's always on the sideline, there's a lot of motion from you and Dan and everyone on the sideline. Is there a time when it's too late, when it's too close to the snap of the ball to adjust for your guys?
I don't think it's ever too late to adjust. It's probably too late for them to hear us. You know what I mean? Like at some point they've got to go get ready to play the play. But that is probably simultaneous with snapping the ball. In terms of, we always say the hay's never in the barn at Georgia. You're always getting ready before the game. We're going over adjustments and going over things that could happen. At halftime, we're going over things that could happen. In drive, we'll pull a guy out and go over something new they did to say, hey, this is how we got to play this. But a lot of times you see us doing that. It's a guy's not lined up right. We want him to get wider, or we might know a tendency the other team has, and you're trying to help somebody out with what we think it is, because ultimately offenses try to copycat other offenses, right? So if we've given up whatever the play might be, an inside zone out of this formation, they might try to copy that. And so we're trying to let our guys, we sometimes know the answer to the test better than the players, so we're trying to help them out. But a lot of time it doesn't help. We just confuse them more.
Kirby, I saw a lot of recruits at the first home game. Asking you about kind of the behind the scenes recruiting operation folks that you have. I know you hired David Cooper this summer. How competitive is it to find people that can help you in that realm and then retain them?
Yeah, it's extremely competitive. It's the number one, attribute to having success is getting good players. Now you got to develop them. You got to make sure they go to class and do their academics and they develop as a player. But number one thing you can do is be able to sign players, and we've got a tremendous recruiting staff. The group we have is just awesome. They're a joy to be around. They're smiling every day. I just passed by 2 of them in the hallway coming up here, and they're always recruiting. And this recruiting world's changed so much. That used to be, the coaches did the recruiting. They did it when they got off the field. Now it never stops. It's like year round. And the staff we have with David and so many others. Katie does a great job. Angela Logan, Christina, we just have a wonderful staff that works really, really hard to do that. Cam is another guy that helps us. We got a great recruiting staff.
Let's go Jake Rowe and then to Mike Griffith.
Hey, Kirby, wanted to ask you about just kind of some of your reserve offensive linemen and, kind of how they're progressing. I know you've mentioned Devin Willock, and guys like that, Marius Mims. Are all of those guys, you said Amarius had battled some health issues during preseason camp. How are those guys progressing? How close do you think they're getting to maybe entering that top 6, 7, 8 group of linemen you guys have?
Well, they're probably right at 7, 8, 9, 10 is where they are. They're getting a lot of reps, getting a lot of work. Devin has gotten a tremendous amount of work at twos with the guard, and Marius has gotten a ton of work at right tackle. And we're trying hard to bring those guys along, but it's not just on us to bring them along. It's their responsibility too to fight, scratch, claw for every inch, for every rep they get. And you have to be careful that they don't fall in a comfort zone, right? I'm comfortable being right here. There's no pressure on me versus I'm hungry and I want to be the best and I want to go out and compete to be the best every single day. And I want those guys to continue to get better, but they need playing time to get better and they got to earn that. And it's not going to be given to them. They got some of this last week, but for the competitive game time reps in the SEC, they've got to earn that.
Kirby, excuse me if you've already been asked this. I was under the impression this started at 6:30. I apologize. Can you give us an update on your quarterback situation and JT's injury status?
Yeah, JT feels much better. He's continued to improve. I think he's better now than he was on Saturday. I don't know that he's 100%, but he's certainly getting closer to that. Stetson is repping, JT's repping, and Carson's repping. So Stetson's actually got some lower back issues that he strained some stuff, but he's able to go. But I don't know if he's 100%. He's been dinged up since Monday morning, but he went out and practiced as well. So they're all three practicing, and I wouldn't say 100. I think Carson's 100% healthy, but the other two are still pushing back.
Let's go to Palmer Toms and then Seth Emerson.
Hey, Kirby, along the lines of the cornerback situation, obviously DK seems to have emerged as one of the top options there, and you're rotating other guys. Is that the plan, for the season, or would you like to eventually settle into two guys that get the majority of the reps?
To me, I want the best players to play, right? So the guys that practice the best, the guys that compete out there and make plays, part of it is not necessarily just the fastest, best player. It's knowing the system and understanding the checks and the alignments and knowing how to play in our defense. And I think that all the guys that have played can do that. DK has played quite a bit of snaps. So has Amir, so has Keeley. Jalen Kimber got in some. Kamari got in some. So we're continuing to bring that and develop that position along. But I'm not going to sit here and say I want two guys to play, three guys to play. I want guys that are capable of playing to be able to play. I'm always trying to create depth so that if we have injuries or if a guy doesn't have a hot hand, we can play the other guy.
Kirby, not only with Shane, but with Mel Tucker and Sam Pittman, do you qualify now as having your own coaching tree? And what are the chances those guys have a group text message where they complain about you or something?
Not they won't. I don't think they would have that. I definitely don't see them as my tree because two of them are my elders, and I learned a lot from them. Mel has a ton of experience, a lot more experience than I do, and he's been all over NFL staffs, and he was on Nick's staff. He's been really, really successful. So I was very blessed to have somebody of Mel's nature to help me start this program and build this thing. Sam, the same way. Sam was great for us here and a good friend. So I don't take credit for either one of them. And then, Shane went and wanted to learn a different way. And he went to Oklahoma to do that. He was part of our trees, part of his dad's trees, part of Lincoln Riley's tree. So he's kind of his own person, and he's cut his own cloth. So I doubt those guys I doubt they have time to have a text thread to complain about me.
Let's go to Davis Baker and then to Brandon Sudge.
Hey, Coach, forgive me if this was asked yesterday, but how much does the preparation change not knowing who's starting at quarterback this weekend for South Carolina?
It really doesn't. I mean, everybody always asks that. It's the plays are the plays. Now, the person running the plays and the mobility of the quarterback certainly changes. I think it changes probably third down, maybe more than anything else. Is he a pocket passer, or are they going to move the pocket? Is he a scrambler? Is he a guy that's going to sit in the pocket? You know, it's just everyone's a little different. But the plays they run that aren't designed for the quarterback are the same. So the offense doesn't change based on the quarterback. Not a lot of times. The mobility might change, but that's really about it.
Hey, Kirby, again, I hopped on a couple minutes late, so sorry if this has already been asked. But I was wondering if you could give us some updates at what wide receiver, even though this has become kind of a weekly thing that we ask. So how is Dominic Blaylock confidence in the knee? Is Arik Gilbert, is he back with the team? And when might Kyrus Jackson be able to get some opportunity on offense?
Kyrus is improving by day. I thought that Monday, coming off of a light Saturday for him, a day off Sunday, I thought Monday he looked really good. Today, I didn't notice him as much, but he's working his way back. I feel like he's closer than he's been. We felt like Dom was a little ahead of Kyrus in terms of cutting and breaking and doing that, and confidence in his knee. He's like right there. And he's also dealing with a little bit of a hamstring issue. So it's not so much the knee now with him, it's a little bit of a hamstring, and that sometimes that happens because he hasn't been doing this kind of volume. So we've been trying to walk him along as we bring him back, but I couldn't tell you when they're going to be able to go. I mean, I feel like Kyrus will be able to play some this week. He's played, right? He's playing punt returner. It's just getting him out there and getting him in the offense and getting him cutting and breaking more. But outside of that, AD, Marcus, Arian, Jermaine, Justin, Jackson, all those guys are working hard. Arik is not back with us yet, and I don't know when he'll be back.
Okay, Lance McCurley, and then we'll come back to one of the red and black writers. I think I see a couple of you, but we'll get one of y'all. Go ahead, Lance.
Hey, Coach, I kind of have a non-football question. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources just named one of your former friends, and I believe was one of your roommates when you were at GA here at UGA, John Rhodes, the game warden of the year. I was seeing if you could give a comment on your relationship with him and his family. I know you played here with his brother Trey. If you could just talk about your relationship with them right fast.
Yeah, the Rhodes family is a wonderful family. I felt like it was a home away from home for me in college, being from a long way away. Greensboro was just right down the road. Actually, Union Point is where his dad had a store, and I'd go down there with him a lot, and grew up kind of in college with Trey, and then John was his younger brother, and we kind of took John in, and he came up, stayed with us all the time, and he finished up down at Georgia Southern, and he does a great job with DNR, and I run into him sometimes on the lake, so he's always a joy to be around. He's always got a smile on his face, so he's one of the best at it. I'm glad he got that award.
Hey, Kirby, I had a question about the running game, because obviously on Saturday there was plenty of explosive passing plays, but there wasn't a single running back that had over 34 yards. Is there anything y'all are emphasizing or working on to create more explosive plays in the run game?
Yeah, you got to do it better. Like you can't do that. Now we may not have a running back get over 100, but that could happen because we may split them up. We may share it out, but certainly would have thought we'd have had more with over than 34, and should. And we got to work hard at that. We've got to be able to create run game. Some of our passing game comes from the run game, right? The play action. So your play action is not going to be real good if you're not a good run team. That's part of the success we have on defense, is we don't have to honor play action because we got a good run defense. So we got to be able to make that a threat. We got to be able to make that count and hit people. And we did not do that at a high rate. Now, how much that had to do with UAB and how much that had to do with us, I don't know. I still think UAB has a pretty good team and a pretty good defense. But we did hit them with some explosives.
Okay, we've got time for one more question. Let's go to Connor Riley.
Hey, Kirby, I just want to follow up. You said Arian Smith was back practicing. I just wanted to clarify that because he did leave the game with an injury on Saturday. And then with him and Jermaine Burton catching some of those explosive plays, how big was that for their confidence and development as they continue to play more?
It was big for him. He's practicing with us. He's not 100%, but he is practicing with us. He did get dinged up, but it was a bruise. So we're pushing him through, and he's doing the things he can do to be healthy. And Jermaine had a good game, and hopefully got some more. Both of them got some more confidence. But Arian is still a work in progress in terms of developing as a route runner and growing as a player. He's been really valuable in terms of special teams with his speed.
Thank you, Coach Smart.
Thank you.